Day 11. Trust After Betrayal. I'm Avery, and welcome to Daily Grace. This season, we are walking through a series called Trust, a steady return to God. Take a slow breath. Let your shoulders soften a little. If your mind feels busy today, that is all right. You do not have to push anything away right now. You just allow this moment to slow down. Trust can feel like a fragile word when disappointment has touched your life, especially when that disappointment came through someone you trusted. Betrayal has a quiet weight to it. It can leave a person wondering what is safe anymore, what is real, what can be trusted again. Sometimes the pain is not loud. Sometimes it is simply a quiet hesitation inside your heart, a carefulness that was not there before. You may notice it in small moments, in conversations, in relationships, in the way you hold your expectations a little tighter. This kind of caution does not mean you're weak. It means something mattered. And when something matters deeply, the heart remembers. But here is something steady to hold on to. Trust with God does not disappear just because trust with people has been shaken. Human trust can break. God's steadiness does not. Even when life becomes confusing, even when relationships disappoint, even when your heart feels uncertain, God remains who He has always been. The scriptures offer a quiet anchor in moments like this. Psalm 34 says, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." There is something gentle in that promise. God does not stand at a distance when hearts are hurting. He moves closer, not with pressure, not with demands, but with presence. Broken trust can sometimes make a person feel alone, even when people are still around them. It can create a quiet loneliness. But God does not step away from wounded places. He enters them slowly, carefully, steadily. Sometimes rebuilding trust begins not with other people, but with remembering that God has not left, even in the middle of disappointment, even in the middle of confusion, even in the middle of questions. He remains. There are moments in life when trust changes shape. It becomes quieter, more cautious, less rushed. And that is not failure. That is healing taking its time. I remember a season when someone I trusted deeply let me down. It was not a loud moment. There was no dramatic ending, just the slow realization that something important had shifted. For a while, I noticed myself becoming more guarded, more careful with what I shared, more uncertain about what I believed people meant when they spoke. Nothing looked broken on the outside, but inside there was hesitation. It took time before I realized something important. My caution was not a sign that my heart was closing. It was a sign that my heart was learning how to be wise again. And during that time, I noticed something else. God was steady in quiet moments, in small prayers, in simple moments of stillness. There was no rush. No pressure to pretend everything felt normal again. Just a quiet reminder you are not alone here. Trust with God often grows in places where human trust has been wounded, not because the pain disappears, but because His steadiness becomes clearer. God does not rush your healing. He does not ask you to ignore what hurts. He does not demand instant restoration inside of your heart. Instead, He walks with you as trust slowly rebuilds. Sometimes the first step back towards trust is simply noticing where God is still present. In the breath you are taking, in the quiet moment you are sitting in right now, in the fact that you are still here, still listening, still willing to believe that steadiness exists somewhere. Trust does not return all at once. It returns in small ways. A quiet peace during prayer, a moment where your heart softens again, a reminder that disappointment did not erase God's faithfulness. There is room for careful hearts here. There is room for people who are still healing. There is room for trust to grow slowly, even after betrayal, especially after betrayal. God's presence is not fragile, it is steady. And that steadiness can hold the places where trust is still learning how to breathe again. So if your heart feels cautious today, if trust feels delicate, you are not behind. You are simply walking through something real. And God walks there with you, quietly, faithfully, steadily, right where you are. May you move through this day gently. May you remember that trust does not have to rush. God is steady, and you are still being held. Until next time, this is Avery.